Every major car company on the planet is racing toward fully electric vehicles. Tesla, BYD, Toyota, billions of dollars poured into battery technology. But while everyone was sprinting in the same direction, Renault did something unexpected. They built a hybrid that delivers EV-level smoothness at half the price of most electric cars. The 2026 Renault Cleo isn't trying to compete with electric vehicles. It's questioning whether most people even need one yet, and the market is responding. Here's why this matters. Renault isn't some startup gambling on a concept. According to their 2024 annual report, the Renault Group sold over 2.26 million vehicles worldwide last year. The Renault brand alone moved approximately 1.57 million units, up from the previous year. In Europe, their sales grew by over 3%, while the overall market grew by just 1.5%. In the UK specifically, Renault sales jumped over 20%. But here's the strategic part most people miss. While competitors went all in on electric, Renault studied the actual data. Charging infrastructure worldwide is still incomplete. According to the International Energy Agency, vast regions of South America, Africa, and Asia still lack reliable EV charging networks. Renault saw this gap and made a calculated decision: invest heavily in hybrid technology that works everywhere right now, not just in countries with perfect infrastructure. By early 2025, Renault had become one of the top 2 hybrid brands in Europe. That wasn't luck, that was strategy. Now let's talk about what Renault actually built, because the new Clio doesn't look like a practical compromise. It looks like a car that belongs in a higher price bracket. The exterior has been completely redesigned. Up front, new C-shaped LED headlights sit above a wider, gloss-finished grille. The hood features subtle sculpted lines that catch light in a way that gives the car genuine presence on the road. From the side, the body is lower and sleeker than the previous generation, with redesigned alloy wheels and proportions that lean sporty rather than utilitarian. The rear gets modernized LED taillights, a black-finished bumper, and a subtle spoiler that ties the whole design together. But here's where Renault really surprised people: the interior. Open the door and you'll find a soft-touch dashboard, a fully digital instrument cluster, and a new 10-inch infotainment display. The materials include eco-friendly textiles, which is a detail that matters increasingly to European buyers. A new ambient lighting system, redesigned AC vents, and a sportier steering wheel round out a cabin that feels a full segment above where this car is priced. This is a city car that doesn't feel like a city car, and that's deliberate. Now, the core of what makes this car significant: the powertrain. The 2026 Clio runs on Renault's E-Tech full hybrid system. This platform was developed using engineering knowledge from Renault's Formula One program, and it works like this. A 1.6-liter petrol engine is paired with 2 electric motors. One motor drives the wheels directly, providing electric propulsion. The other handles battery regeneration and smooth gear transitions through an automatic multi-mode gearbox. What does this mean in practice? In low-speed city driving and traffic, the car operates purely on electric power. No petrol consumed, no engine noise. As soon as you need acceleration, merging onto a highway, overtaking, the petrol engine seamlessly joins in. The system constantly reads your driving behavior and switches between modes automatically. You never touch a button. The combined output is approximately 145 horsepower. Now let's be honest, that's not going to out-accelerate a Tesla. EVs have instant torque, and that's a physics advantage hybrids can't match. But 145 horsepower in a car this light delivers genuinely punchy real-world performance. The acceleration is smooth and linear, and in electric mode, the car is nearly silent. Several European automotive journalists, including reviewers from Autocar and What Car, have noted that the driving experience feels remarkably close to an EV in urban conditions. Renault claims the E-Tech system reduces fuel consumption by up to 40% compared to a conventional petrol engine. Under WLTP testing conditions, the Clio achieves approximately 25 to 27 kilometers per liter combined. Real-world figures will likely be somewhat lower, as they always are, but even conservative estimates put this car's efficiency well above most competitors in its class. And here's the critical advantage over pure electric vehicles: zero range anxiety. No hunting for charging stations, no planning routes around charger availability. Fill the tank and drive. In traffic, the electric mode saves your fuel. On the highway, the petrol engine handles everything. It's a system designed for how people actually live, not how futurists think they should live. Renault has historically performed well in European crash testing, and the new Cleo continues that pattern. The car has received a high safety rating from Euro NCAP. Standard features include 6 airbags, ABS with electronic brake distribution, lane keeping assist, traction control, and automatic emergency braking. For families, ISOFIX child seat mounting points come standard. The car is built to European crash standards, which remain among the most stringent in the world. Nothing revolutionary here, just solid, comprehensive safety execution at a price point where competitors often cut corners. This is where the Cleo becomes genuinely disruptive. In Europe, the base petrol variant starts at approximately €20,000. A mid-range model with additional features sits between €22,000 and €23,000. The full E-Tech hybrid variant, the one with the dual motor system, ranges from €24,000 to €27,000. For context, a base Tesla Model 3 in Europe starts above €40,000. A BYD Atto 3 sits around €38,000. The Cleo Hybrid delivers a comparable urban driving experience: smooth, quiet, efficient, at roughly half to two-thirds the cost. It's not the same car. It doesn't have the same range or the same straight-line speed, but for daily commuting, city driving, and mixed-use scenarios, the practical difference in experience is far smaller than the price gap suggests. Renault offers multiple trims designed for different buyers. The base model targets cost-conscious drivers who want reliability and low maintenance. The hybrid variant targets buyers who want forward-thinking technology without the infrastructure dependency of a full EV. Every variant emphasizes fuel efficiency and comfort as standard priorities. This pricing strategy is deliberate. Renault isn't trying to compete with premium EVs. They're targeting the massive middle market, people who want modern technology at a realistic price point. The Cleo matters beyond its own sales figures because it represents a broader market thesis. Renault is betting that the transition to fully electric transportation will take longer than the industry has projected, and that hybrid technology will fill that gap for years to come. This isn't a fringe opinion. Toyota has maintained a similar position for years, but Renault is executing it at aggressive price points in the European market, which creates real competitive pressure. In developing markets across South America, Africa, and Asia, where EV infrastructure remains years away from maturity, affordable hybrids like the Cleo represent the most practical path to reducing emissions right now. Governments in several countries are beginning to include hybrid vehicles in green incentive programs, creating additional tailwinds for this approach. Renault has published a roadmap through 2030 that positions hybrid and low-emission vehicles as the backbone of their lineup. More than half of their future models will be hybrid or plug-in hybrid. The E-Tech platform underpinning the Cleo will expand across multiple vehicle types. The underlying argument is simple and hard to dismiss. Before the world can go fully electric, it needs a practical bridge. Renault is building that bridge and pricing it so that ordinary people can actually cross it. The 2026 Cleo isn't the flashiest car of the year. It's not the fastest or the most technologically radical, but it might be the most strategically intelligent. A car built for the world as it actually exists, not as press releases wish it would be. If you found this breakdown useful, drop your thoughts on the hybrid versus EV debate in the comments. Like the video if you want more deep dives like this, and subscribe so you catch the next one. See you there.